Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego too. This is Paul and Rupert.
We're back!
Coming out with a brand new thought, covered under the blood in which we were born. So we know how to get to.
Is for bold, A is for active, D is for determined. When you consider King David valiantly, you have an idea and understanding of where we're taking this. Stay tuned.
Hallelujah, revive us again.
We are excited to bring fresh commentary, good conversation with two bad men. Boy, you don't want to miss this. Bad Man for Christ. Join us.
Stands for determined, just like Peter when he did his first sermon. As the saying goes, bad men for Christ. That is how we'll be for the rest of our life. Sit back, relax, and enjoy our show because we're stuck in the house with nowhere to go.
Hey, we're here. Welcome everyone to another edition of the Bad Man Show. How are you doing, Overseer?
Man, I am. Let me give it a cliche. I am blessed and highly favored. Oh my God!
What's going on over there?
Nothing. It's just I'm blessed and highly favored.
Welcome to our audience. We really appreciate you joining us again.
Yes.
On this wonderful Monday evening. We want to first announce to you that these last two shows, both tonight and next Monday shows, are our fun shows. It's going to be a lot of joy, laughter, and so if you are not up to upbeat and ready to join in with some laughter, these two last shows might not be for you. But I know you're up to a challenge.
Yes, I believe that they are going to enjoy the shows as much as we're going to enjoy presenting the shows and having a good time. Now, Bishop, we were at a wedding together on this past weekend, and it was enjoyable, and we had a great time. So we're just going to say shout out to Elder Williams and no longer Elder Williams now, Elder Christine Walker, and to Pastor Walker on their nuptials. Is that what it's called? Nuptials?
I'm not sure. Are they on a cruise? They're on a cruise?
They're away. Yeah, they're on a cruise. They went to, I don't know. They went to Jamaica, I believe. They went to Jamaica.
Yeah. Overseer, I things were tight. Things I think were tight because I wasn't even introduced to her husband.
Hey man, I do them, but there's a whole bunch of things that would happen. There's a whole bunch of things that went on, so we're just gonna move on with the show. Right?
Oh, you're gonna move on. You're not gonna. Yeah, you're the one. Since this is our last show before Christmas, I want to greet our audience with Merry Christmas, and I would trust that you're gonna have a wonderful time. We really want to extend the joy of the time. We trust that the blessings of the Lord is with you, and you're going to have a great Christmas. I also want to give a big shout out to our presider and Lady Wynn. A Merry Christmas to our presider and Lady Wynn. I want to acknowledge. So got to do that before the overseer jumps in because he loves to tell me that this is meant. And of course, we have Elder Mark that's on. So I want to actually greet the presider before Elder Mark gets a word in.
Well, I definitely do greet the presider and First Lady. I greet all the bishops that watch us. If they watch us during our live taping, or if some of them watch us they go back and they look at YouTube or Facebook and watch us. And we thank God for all of them. And we thank God for all of our good friends that come on every week, like Mark Brodus and Ken Walsh and Deacon Howell. I mean, we don't miss those guys. Dan Gibson's on today. Look at this, my goodness. So I'm just so happy for these guys. And we got to also give thanks to our producers. We're not ending. We're just ending the year. We're still going to go trumpet. The season's not over. Just ending the year up, and we're ending it up right. But to our producers who help us with the show, and to my good buddy and co-host, Bishop. I hope that you have a great Christmas and a happy New Year. But let's talk about Christmas. Let's talk about Christmas. Because
Really?
we are church
Really?
folk.
I mean, since you have done all the we don't want to miss diocesan pastors and the board of bishops and of course men's men. We want to say to everyone, please have a Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
So,
All right. Now I want to ask a question. Then, do you celebrate Christmas?
what do I celebrate Christmas now?
Yes.
But like you said, right? Let's define celebrate.
All right. I'm glad you're going to start there. Okay.
Because
all
there
right.
could be a celebration, but on two different angles, right? Because we have the biblical reason why I celebrate Christmas, but then I also have the societal, cultural reason why I celebrate Christmas.
Okay.
So if you're asking me, do I celebrate both? I will answer to you, yes, I celebrate.
All right. Well, let me give you my definition for celebration.
All right.
Celebration means to acknowledge a significant day event with a social gathering or enjoyable activity. That's the first definition. Number 2, perform a religious ceremony publicly and duly. And number 3, honor or praise publicly. So that's the definition. I want to make sure I had the definition right here for you so that when you jump into this with both feet, hands, and toes, you won't get stuck.
I wasn't worried because I know what it means to celebrate. So I wasn't worried because I do that, right? And I make sure that I do that. But I will say that I celebrate Christmas mainly on the aspect of the biblical celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. That's my main one. Secondarily, I celebrate Christmas as a time for family, for love, and for sharing in that season. Now, there are some who do not celebrate Christmas. Now, I want to ask you, sir, do you celebrate Christmas?
Okay, I'm glad you asked. All right, so I'm glad you asked me if I celebrate Christmas. So I went back just to make sure and did a little research on Christmas.
All
18th
right.
century was the first occurrence of what's called a Christmas tree in Germany. 1846, Queen Victoria and her husband, a picture was taken with them with a family around a Christmas tree. And by the 20th century, the Christmas tree became popular not only in Britain, but in America. And a tradition has it that in 1931, the undecorated at the site of the Rockefeller, construction workers put up a undecorated Christmas tree. And several years later, it began that tradition to today, where you have this gigantic Christmas tree at the Rockefeller Center with over 25,000 lights. No, I say I don't celebrate Christmas, but there's a lady in my house. She says you ought not to say that, Bishop, because you celebrate Christmas. You give cards out. There's a tree in your house. There's lights at the window, and you sing Christmas carol. So I said, well, I didn't put the tree up. The children put the tree up. I didn't put any lights up. The young folks in the house. She said, well, it is your house, so you celebrate Christmas. So with that said, I look back and say, I may want to think that I don't celebrate Christmas, but I do the activities. Now the question is, if I sing a Christmas carol, give somebody a Christmas card, send somebody a Christmas gift, does that mean that I celebrate Christmas?
I would say yes. I would say if you're going to do the things of the celebration, you are celebrating Christmas. I believe that your church has Christmas Sunday.
Yes, we do.
Okay,
but there's no tree.
But you celebrate Christmas.
There's no light, And that is exactly Mrs. Brown's point. So my point is, I would like to draw a line between what it means to do some Christmas type activity and the celebration of Christmas. I'm looking at celebration is where you get into it, where you perform certain certain quote unquote religious activities, where you are admonishing and doing homage.
Okay, read the definition of
But I don't do that.
again. Read the definition of celebration again, please. Read
I
the
know,
definition of celebration.
I know what the definition says.
Read them again. I don't remember them. Read the definition, please. Read them again. Let's go over this based on read them again, please.
Okay. It says the first definition is acknowledge a significant day with a social gathering or enjoyable activity.
So do you guys have Christmas dinner?
At our house? Oh yeah, the family gather around. It's a dinner.
Celebrate Christmas. Based on the first definition. You don't even ask the first one.
Just because so because we have dinner on Thursday, should I say that's celebrating Thursday dinner?
No. You specifically make sure that day family comes over. You might even invite other people over on that day to have dinner on, just like Thanksgiving. So I would have to say you celebrate Christmas. I would say you celebrate Christmas. Now, again, I said there's two different types, right? There's a Christian, biblical-based, what we consider the birth of Christ. More Christ, Christmas, more Christ. Then there is the societal cultural view of it. So you're really celebrating the more Christ aspect of it, not maybe the cultural view of it. But if you exchange gifts, for instance, if you get a gift and you say thank you and you open that gift with glee and you give gifts, you might be celebrating also the cultural aspect of it.
So let's take it back a bit then. The actual activities to which we actually comes up with the idea of Christmas originated from some pagan activities.
Some of them did, yes.
Right, yes. Of course, it wasn't named Christmas.
Right.
It wasn't. And I want that to be clear. When one goes back and look at the origin of Christmas, it's a fourth century activity that constituted fasting and preparation, and it was Epiphany rather than Christmas. That's basically it. Was in the 6th century that Gregory the Great changed the association from that which was 4th century and associated it with the coming of Christ. That leads to quote unquote Advent, the origin of Advent, the fourth. You have the 4th Sunday before Christmas, and then each Sunday you have different activity to actually where you constitute the coming of Christ. But these activities were activities that were predate Christianity. So in a certain sense, even though there are flavors of the origin, the origin of Christmas in past pagan actions and activity, the naming Christmas was not the same thing that the pagan worshippers had in the past. If you kind of get the distinction,
right.
So we kind of take some of those activities, rename it, and call it Christmas.
Yeah, I think it was like Saturnalia or something like that. Right. Saturnalia. Mark Brodus has come up with one of the deepest thoughts. I rarely hear this. There is no Christmas without Christ. Oh God, Shama, thank you very much, Mark Brodus, for that deep reminder that there is no Christmas without Christ. Amen. Now, unfortunately, there's only about 1/3 of the world that believe that. They celebrate Christmas without Christ, but we know there is no Christmas without Christ. But to your point, Bishop, yeah, there is some pagan aspects of it. The name was changed. And I think what a lot of people have an issue with is, and I hope they ask questions. If they're on here, ask your question. If you're on here, we'll take your question if you're on. They have an issue with, because there is pagan rituals, or this is based on a pagan ritual, then should we be celebrating those pagan rituals like the tree in our house, or like the gifts under the tree, all those little things? Because aren't we celebrating the pagan tradition also? That's what I think a lot of people have an issue with. So they say, let's keep away from that. Now, do I agree? I don't know. But let's see if anybody asks a question so I can give my response. I don't know.
This is a good point where I can actually say, for those that are on today, and it's that time of gift giving, even if you don't celebrate Christmas or not, we have a promotion. We would like to say, if you would like to have one of our t-shirts, one similar to what Overseer has on, like myself have on, we will be giving out t-shirts if you will send us your address and your t-shirt size, and also if you if you're willing to pay for the shipping and handling, we'll give you a Zelle number that you can actually pay for the shipping and handling for $7.15, I believe it is, and we will send you a Bad Man shirt. It's a promotion. Oh, so does that sound like Christmas to you, Overseer?
That sounds like not like Christmas, because it happened over Christmas. It's a promotion, so we're not giving it to you as a gift. You got to pay still for shipping and handling. So it's a promotion, but it's a good promotion. And if you have not got, I know some of you have the old Bad Man shirt, the black with the white on it.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know if you have the new one with the gold and red. If you don't have the gold and red, that's the one that we're giving out. I think it's a t-shirt. These are polo shirts. He has a pullover. But it's a t-shirt I believe we're giving out or be promoting. So it has the big logo on it. We'd love for you to promote. So as many people that want to get it, I think, how many we're doing? 25? You said?
So say it again.
How many shirts are we promoting?
25. We're giving out the 25. First 25. The first 25 that we get, people. Your address, t-shirt size, we will send you a Bad Man t-shirt.
Amen. So look for it. Make sure you get the Zelle, send it in, information in, and you'll get it. All right.
Let's take the next question then.
So let's pull that question back in, Mr. Producer. Put that question back in for Mr. Walsh. Okay. If you found out, no, not that one, the one you had before. Okay, right. Thank you. Is Christmas time the time we celebrate and give thanks for the birth of our Savior? Woo, is Christmas time the time we celebrate and give thanks for the birth of our Savior? Yes.
That's in general, though. That is in general. That's in general. Right. Because we do that all the time.
Right.
Especially when somebody come to Christ, give their life over to Jesus Christ. That is a time when Christ is now a part of that person. He's birthing that person's life. But in a general context, yes, we do that.
Right.
Even though we know that Jesus was not born in December.
Right.
We know that.
Right.
History has shown us that. We know that. Yes.
Right. But that's the day that we take the time out to recognize his birth. Even though we know it wasn't a day, that's the day we recognize his birth. Right. So, okay. So again, from Kent, if you found out Christmas started out as a pagan event, would you still celebrate it? And is it in any way a sin? If I found out that Christmas started out as a pagan event, would you still celebrate it? No, because Christmas could not start out as a pagan event, because Christmas is about the Christ.
Right.
So there's no way it could have started out as a pagan event, because then those pagans would have been celebrating Christ. Christmas started off as Christmas, and it might have pulled in some things from that are similar to the pagan event, but it is not the pagan event because it is Christmas. So I would not do that. All right. Tia Jones, Christmas didn't begin as a pagan event. It's what she's saying, like what I'm saying. It's impossible for Christmas to be a pagan event because it is with Christ.
Yeah, the pagan wouldn't have named the event Christmas.
Couldn't do it.
It's another name, right?
Right. It's another name. There might be similarities, but it's still not Christmas.
So while we have a pause here, overseer, can you give me a tune of Rudolph the Red-Nosed since you celebrate?
Yeah, let me give it to you. You know Dasher, you know Dancer, you know Prancer, you know Vixen, you know Comet, you know Cupid, you know Donner, you know Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? So I can go through the whole thing. So I know it. I know them songs. It has nothing to do with it, but I know them songs. But just want to be so the fact is, let's get to this thing, because I want to touch this whole entire issue about Christmas and the tree and all that stuff, right? So if people have a problem with the pagan event and they're associated with the pagan event, I asked one simple question. If you have a problem with the pagan event, why don't you have a problem with the wrong or the errors that you do celebrate biblically? For instance, 3 wise men. No.
There was no 3 wise.
The Bible doesn't say 3 wise men. It says the wise men. But because somebody was preaching one day and said, one man brought gold, one man brought myrrh, one man brought... Then it became 3 wise men. That's not accurate. Then we have the nativity scene. Oh, the beautiful nativity scene. You see the baby Jesus. You see Mary. You see Joseph. You see the shepherds. And you see the wise men. That's wrong also. The wise men and shepherd did not get together to see Jesus. The wise men, as the biblical said, saw him in the house. He was about 2 years old when they found Jesus. It wasn't the baby Jesus as the infant the shepherd saw. So again, we celebrate these things. We celebrate these errors, and we do not say, oh, no, we can't do that. But because the tree, which is just a tree, it's just a tree. It is not a pagan staple in my house. It is a tree. I have one upstairs right now. I have I have lights surrounded, and guess what? I have the leading rusher of all time on it, Emmitt Smith. He hangs there, a Dallas Cowboy on that tree. Yes, Mark Brodus, Emmitt Smith, a Dallas Cowboy on that tree, and it means nothing. It means nothing. It is just decoration, which my cats knocked down. It means nothing. All right. So,
but before you take brother Walsh's question, all right. So, can we then put Thanksgiving as a we celebrate Thanksgiving, right? It's not biblical, is it?
No.
I don't believe it's pagan.
No, it has pagan rituals to it too.
But we celebrate it. Nobody be fussing about Thanksgiving. No, you're from Jamaica. You got Boxing Day, right?
Yes.
It's not religious. The folks in Jamaican and English and of English descent, they be celebrating Boxing Day.
Granted too.
No. But when it comes to Christmas and Christ, you notice things that pertain with Christ seems of a lot of things that comes up with it. We tend not to look at the positive part. Yes, we do understand there's some pagan influences in it, but to be honest, a lot of things that we come across have some type of pagan stuff in it, and we don't really say much. Yes,
tons of things that we come across have some pagan rituals to it. Matter of fact, one of the pagan rituals that we can talk about is the sacrifice. That is a pagan ritual that they do, and we also do it too. Another pagan ritual that you may not really want to hear is the dress code of the pagans. Pagan women were not allowed to wear certain things that men wore. But we don't want to get into all of that, sir, because that's not part of what we're talking. We're talking about Christmas.
We're talking about Christmas. All right, we got a question.
Here's a question from Ken Walsh. I'm going to let you answer this one. He says, if the tree is from a pagan worldly event, are you good with having one in your house? So he's asking the question, are you, Bishop, good with having a tree in your house? And do you believe it is a sin if it is? If it is not in your house?
Okay, Mr. Walsh. We're talking about Jeremiah 10. So I did a little research here. Jeremiah 10, there's a portion where it says, learn at the way, the custom of the pagan, because they go in and cut a tree. Did a little research and found out that it's not necessarily a tree per se, but the writer was talking about the activity of creating idols for them to worship. The tree that they bring into their house, that the craftsman, remember it's crafts. These were skilled people who designed and made idols. And so they would get it from the wood of the tree. The tree in my house are put up by novices. They think that they're great decorators. We didn't pay somebody to put it up. So the question is just a symbol. Does it mean anything to me? No. The only thing that it means to me is I made sure that this year I bought one of those special socket that you can put in and you can do Alexa, turn it off at 10 o'clock. So I can save on my electricity.
Man, you know what? This is why I look at it too, Bishop. The pagans, like you said, they idolized it. Many of them idolized the tree as birthing, that nature, Mother Nature comes to the tree and all that stuff. And they would dance around it. And they would ask the spirits to come and do all these things. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not asking no spirit to come in my house. I'm not even asking for Santa Claus to come in the house. Rupert Johnson and Vivian Johnson are the Santa Clauses in our house. We just don't tell the kids that because, hey, if they want to think of Santa Claus, go ahead. I don't care. They really know it's us who gives them the gift because we're the one who gets the list. They don't write a letter to Santa Claus. They write a letter to their father or their mother and their aunts and their uncles. Say, this is what we want. So they know. So again, I don't do pagan things. I just have a tree in my house. But trust me, if I'm trying to get my wife to convince the kids we want a fake tree, but they won't get a fake tree, I got to keep buying a new one, lifting it up, lug it in the house. All the little pines are everywhere. So yeah, so I want a fake tree. And that's what I want. But again, if you don't want a tree, I'm not mad at you. Do what you think is best for your house, but do not make the Bible the reason why you think this is wrong, because there's nothing in the Bible that speaks to this point. And I remember my bishop saying that my dear father saying some things in the Bible, if it's silent in the Bible, we should be silent when talking about it because we could be talking in error.
So Brother Ken said, hey, we live in a pagan world, but we are not of the world. That is true.
Well, is it?
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said.
Is it true? We're not of the world?
We are called to be out. We are called out. And the calling out that we are called out is our lives are to exemplify Jesus Christ. The way how we conduct ourselves, I put it this way. I'd rather be a loving, God-fearing individual that love my neighbor, looks out for my neighbor, make sure I pack a couple Thanksgiving and Christmas basket to give to those that are in need, rather than to be one of those mean church folks that have nothing up in his house and is totally separated from the community.
Amen. Amen. I agree with you, man. That's what I'd rather be too. That's what I'd rather be too. We got another question from Tia Jones that's coming in. It's a good conversation. I love all the questions. She says, so is Christmas a holiday manufactured by the corporate world or a truly religious holiday? Good question. Good question. I'm going to leave it to you, Bishop. I'll let you go first and I'll go.
I believe the society, the purpose of business is to make money. Period. That's the purpose. If I am a businessman, I'm looking for every opportunity to make money. And so when Christmas it presents an opportunity for business to get involved and commercialize it to make money, we ought to understand that is just a principle. That is what business do. So the commercialization of Christmas, I refuse to get caught up into it and not to participate in it. But I'm not going to say Christmas is a truly religious holiday. I'm not going to go. My standpoint is that I can observe how it's been commercialized. But even though it's been commercialized, I can still participate in the activity itself to extend the love of God and to present Christ in any way possible throughout the season.
Okay, so I say Christmas is a Christian-based religious holiday, period. Period. There's nothing else to say about it. It is. Why do I say that? Because just because, like you said, somebody found a way to monetize it. We didn't have to agree to the monetization of Christmas, but society has. The same way every single big star has a Christmas album. Silent Night. Every single star has a chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Every big star will use Christmas songs. And we know, and trust me, almost every one of your houses have one of those albums from one of those stars. You people who are hiding behind the Christmas tree. You will turn on your Spotify or your Pandora and you'll play that song that comes on because Kirk Franklin will sing a song and you'll have this whole entire Christmas thing in there and you get these songs and they're out there. Yeah. They're there, Bishop.
Brother,
we have let the world monetize it.
Brother Walsh, no overseer. Brother Walsh doesn't have no albums with chestnuts roasted. No, he doesn't.
He has one.
No, he doesn't.
He has one. I can guarantee that he plays the Yule log at midnight. He has it. I believe it. He has one. Even if it's a Chipmunks Christmas album for his kids, he has a Chipmunks Christmas
album. Watch, let overseer know that you don't have one.
He's not saying nothing.
Put him to the test.
He's not saying nothing. Yes. and I know Mark Brodus. I know he has one because I saw his CD collection at his house that day. So I know he has one.
Elder Tia doesn't have one. No. She sings her own song. Oh, he said they don't have one.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And you know Tia has one. Tia made one. She probably has her own album with her own voice on it.
I don't think so.
Tia sung that one. Tia says, I do not.
I
do not. I have to check her house. I have to go. I'm going to have to go check her house.
But the monetization of Christmas has really, and people just got to understand. That's what business do. You got to understand. Yes. That's what, if there was an opportunity, if I was running a business, I would be engaged in that because a business, the idea for business is to make money. Whenever there's an idea, you use it.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Christmas, we even sell Jesus on Christmas. We sell him on Christmas. Why do we sell him? Because we have a special service we call Christmas Sunday. And we know people who haven't been in church all year will come that year. And that's when we have our special offering because we won't get them all year. So we try to get that offering from them right there. Give me your special offering because it is Christmas time. we will use it to monetize what we're doing. That doesn't take away from the fact on what Christmas really is. Mark Brodus, we joked about it in the beginning. Mark Brodus joked about it. He said, there is no there's no Christmas without Christ. And that is the actuality of it. So Christmas is a Christian holiday. It has just become monetized for the reason of commercial, for commercial people. But they used to give gifts that they made themselves. Even when I was younger, I made gifts for my parents. I didn't have any money. So I made gifts for my parents. I gave them that way. And we could have stayed in that route. We could have done that. But because the world doesn't celebrate Christ, unfortunately, but the world does celebrate Christmas. Not understand. Muslims celebrate Christmas. There are Jews. There are people that are mixed families, Jewish and Christians, and they celebrate Christmas. Why? Because it has become a commercialized vehicle, but the fact is, it is a holiday about Christ.
At this point, I want to again remind those who may have come on late that we have a promotion going. We're giving away T-shirts. Our producer keep putting up his number. The reason he's put up his number, that's the Zelle number for you to send $7.15 so that for shipping and handling, and they send your shirt size and your address. You need to put up your email address also, producer, so they'll know where to send. They would know where to send their home address and their shirt size. So please put up your email address so they can actually do that. We have one more. We have a point to consider by Elder Tia Boynton.
If Christmas was truly religious, the world wouldn't want anything to do with it. No, he's asking us, isn't that true?
I mean, but the world is not looking at Christmas as a religious anything. The world is looking at I'm talking about the business world. They're looking at it as a means to make money. Point. If the world is looking at something, it's looking at it from the perspective that what it's going to get out of it. That's how I actually see that. Yeah. We need your email address, producer. Your email address.
No, I think his Zelle is his Zelle number. I don't think he uses the email. I think he uses his phone number as his Zelle.
Oh, you can actually put their address on there as well?
It's either your phone number or your email. So I think he uses his phone as his Zelle. So that will work.
But how would they actually get their email address to their email address?
badmanforchrist@gmail.com.
Oh, Badman for Christ. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. You want to email everything to badmanforchrist@gmail.com.
Right. Perfectly.
So Tori is agreeing with her sister. She's agreeing with her sister. She's agreeing with her sister that she's saying, yeah, that's right. Now, and again, I say no, because I'm trying to let people know, just because they're doing it that way does not mean that's what it represents. It still represents Jesus Christ. So even though it's become commercialized, even though there's billions of dollars being spent on this holiday every year, it still is about Christ. And even though people know it, they still they just do the celebrating part. They don't recognize the Christ. They don't have the Nativity Scene. They don't pray during that time. They don't go to church, but they will have the gifts, and they'll watch football, and they'll watch basketball, and they'll do all those things on that day. But it's still a representation of the birth of Jesus Christ. That's what we're celebrating on that day. The same way that Thanksgiving is our holiday. Some people will have turkey, some people will have ham, even though turkey is the main course. People still will have ham and still say it's Thanksgiving, even without a turkey, right? It's the same thing.
So in essence is the world may be celebrating Christmas in a different fashion than how our church folks ought to celebrate. Their celebration of Christmas is making sure that they have the family over for the football game, to make sure they have the gifts already and so forth, and they don't have any biblical or even scriptural connotation associated with it. Yeah, while on our side, we are seeing Christ in Christmas. They're just seeing activities while we're looking for Christ in Christmas. Let's take this other question, because we're running close to wrapping up another wonderful show.
Yeah, this is just more. He's just giving us a point, saying, think about it. They spend money on gifts people do not like, and the kids play with toys for a few months and then done. Yeah, it's true. And back to the point. Well, people are just celebrating it wrong because that's what they're doing. They're buying gifts that people do not like, or even if they do like them, they're buying gifts. They buy toys kids like, but kids play with them for a couple of weeks and they suddenly don't see them anymore. You know, or they're broke and they break them. Only like if you have Nintendo for kids or bikes or things like that, but other little toys and dolls and things like that, they're gone. So for me again, people are just celebrating it wrong. It does not take away from what it really is. Christmas is about Christ. Here's a question. I think it's from Peter, maybe, because it's Peter. So maybe it's his husband, Peter Boynton. Christmas was created by the Catholic Church to combine pagan celebrations and provide an alternative celebration. That's what some people believe, and I think that it says something to that.
Yeah, no.
But I also think it was not to combine the pagan celebration. It was that when the Catholic Church was converting their the pagans, the world, when they were going around converting the world, it was easier for them to incorporate that. Because one thing the Roman Catholic Church, what the Romans did was, when they took over a nation, they didn't get rid of all of their traditions and things that make you Roman. They encompass a lot of their things, so that way it'd be easier to transform you. And that's what is also believed to be about Christmas, that when the Roman Catholic Church took over an area, instead of just totally saying blah blah blah, no way, they tried to incorporate some of the things into the ritual. But again, once it became Christmas, I got to stress this, that was about more Christ. It wasn't about more devil, it was about more Christ. And that's what we have to key on. Not the rituals that were done, because there's rituals done in everything. The Catholic Church is known for rituals. We are known for rituals. But the fact of the matter is, it's about Christ. It's not about the pagan ritual.
Just to reiterate again, the 4th century activity was fasting and preparation for Epiphany rather than Christmas. That's within the Catholic Church. It was in the 6th century that Gregory the Great associated Advent with the coming of Christ. So he changed that whole Epiphany setting and made it Advent, which now becomes the 4th Sunday before Christmas, and they then have all the ritual activity that leads all the way up to Christmas. So along with, but the actual many of the rituals were originated even before the 4th century. They were within the pagan activity of what they did, and historical study shows is that what they would celebrate within the pagan activity was they are the sun god that they worship, and in the winter months, when it got cold, they thought their sun god was weak and sick, and then that's when they had all of those pagan activities and celebration, because they wanted to give strength to their sun god. So some of those basic activity came into the Catholic Church, but not as Christmas. Christmas, as you said, was something that was originated later on.
Right.
Even though it had some of the ritual. Well, we thank you everyone for joining us again for another great show. Wanted to say, you want to take that one? We only have a minute, probably 6 minutes.
Real quick, do we have to continue using these pagan symbols if you know they are misleading? If they're misleading to you, yes, don't use them. That's what my answers be. If you're not misled by them, you can feel free to use them. That would be my response to you. It's not misleading to me. A tree is a tree. It can be a tree for me or a bunch of bricks, whatever they want to put in the house to decorate and to put presents under. It doesn't make a difference to me. If they are misleading to you or you're concerned about it, don't put them up. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Well, you got the last word from Overseer. We thank you again. Again, we want to say again about this show and next show. Next Monday, we're going to be joined by our good friend, Elder Mark Brodus, and we are going to have another well-planned show for you. We're going to talk about some of the things that we have accomplished in 2021. He hosted a couple of these shows, and so that's the reason we're bringing him in. So we want to invite you to come back. Tell your friends, tell somebody to be on the Bad Man Show on next Monday.
Yes, don't forget, we love you all. Thank you so much. If you have a problem with some of the things that we said, email us at thebadmanforchrist@gmail.com. Bishop Brown will be glad to answer the questions for you. I'm hiding. And God bless everybody. Love you all. Take care. Have a great one. Same time, same channel. Next week, 7:15, Bad Man for Christ. You don't want to miss it.
All right.
So sing hallelujah, revive us again.